The large corporate bank has been ICICI Bank. And there have been media reports that the MD and CEO's husband has been facing a CBI probe. Also, the fact that Videocon's Venugopal Dhoot has been named in the CBI probe as well. Chanda Kochar, however, has not been named in the CBI inquiry. The board has been defending the MD as well as CEO. They issued a clarification as well in the Videocon case. But let's try and understand what could it really do to damage the stock price and the market perception around it. Poonam Sani, my colleague, joins in with Macquarie's latest note on ICICI Bank. And Poonam, given the stark underperformance already in the bank, all of February as well as March, what does Macquarie now have to say about this latest probe on the CEO's husband?
In fact, Aisha, if you look at the press statement from ICICI Bank board itself stating ICICI Bank board in fact has come into defense of MD and CEO Chanda Kochar in the entire conflict of interest regarding the loan to Videocon Group. Having said that, what Macquarie says is that yes, the board seems to be supportive of MD and CEO. However, the entire letter itself or the entire clarification itself has left them with more questions than with more answers, and hence the entire CBI inquiry, which the media is in fact reporting. The outcome of the CBI inquiry would be very, very important in terms of ICICI Bank stock performance, because do know that as of now, the overall, a lot of other reports also has come in the media stating that there is a possibility that CBI may now go ahead and probe MD and CEO Chanda Kochar as well. There's already been a report that CBI is already probing MD CEO's husband as well as Mr. Dhoot in the entire preliminary inquiry, but there is a possibility that this entire CBI inquiry also gets extended to MD and CEO Chanda Kochar, and definitely this could lead to further negative sentiment in terms of the stock price, and that is exactly what Macquarie is stating. Of course, the entire outcome would take a good amount of time, but as of now, yes, a negative sentiment is likely. Having said that, Macquarie also states that the bank is trading in nearly around 1x price to book for FY20, and as a result of the entire valuation and the good franchisee overall of ICICI Bank, they still retain a buy in terms of ICICI Bank with an outperform rating, a target price of 425. But do know that both ICICI Bank as well as Axis Bank may come under slight pressure with all the newspaper reports that we have been seeing over the weekend. They are definitely contributing to some amount of negative sentiment.
Oh yes, indeed, and this is going to be an issue that will be much discussed for the very foreseeable future. I just want to add, in the whole case, the market regulator has also been sought for its comments. ED has asked SEBI for documents. Dhoot, of course, on his part has denied dealings with Chanda Kochar's husband. Dhoot, that's Mr. Venugopal Dhoot, has on his part said that the deal with Deepak Kochar was very clear. The CBI, however, is to examine Chanda Kochar in the Videocon loan case. Hemindra Hazari joins in with a quick reaction. And Hemindra, just a quick run through on this entire episode and what this really does for the image that private banks have been working with so far, that they have a better control on their asset quality problems. Of course, ICICI Bank and Axis Bank have been a bit of an exception to the rule because they've had problems with their NPAs over the last few quarters. But what do you think this piece of news would do for the space as a whole?
Firstly, this whole image about private sector banks have better governance, better asset quality has all been a myth. I have been exposing this personally for the last 2 to 3 years. Unfortunately, the mainstream media, the analyst community by and large, and the regulators have chosen to turn a Nelson's eye to all this. It does not take a genius to find out what they have been doing. You just had to do a little bit of digging. Now, coming to this specific issue, it is a very major negative of ICICI Bank. There are so many now, all the major investigative agencies of the state are investigating Mr. Rajiv Kochar, his relationship with Videocon, and ICICI Bank loans to Videocon. And what does ICICI Bank board do? They come out with a robust defense of the CEO under such circumstances. Now, what type of corporate governance is this? And this is the whole, and the longer she stays in her post, the more credibility damage is being done to ICICI Bank, its shareholders, its depositors, because every new day you find another regulator announcing that it's investing the transaction. So when will the board of ICICI Bank realize that what they are doing in just attempting to defend one individual, the kind of damage they are doing to the institution of ICICI Bank?
Hemindra, stay with us. Got Santosh Singh from Haitong Securities as well joining in. Santosh, hi, morning. The stock has already lost, what, 22% in just the last 3 months? Do you think the clarification from ICICI Bank saying that Chanda Kochar has nothing to do with Videocon and that particular account, do you think that can help resurrect the stock? Or is it a murky story that you would completely stay away from still?
See, I would not like to comment on if there is anything there, but the key point here is that if CBI is attached with any stock name, and I've seen it over years, the problem with CBI is that they never come up with a judgment with anything, any finding in a near term. So that creates the uncertainty, and that is, and then market, the biggest thing they dislike is uncertainty. So I mean, till the time CBI doesn't come up with its findings and the final outcome, it will be always sort of a hanging story wherein some sort of development will always happen in 3 years or 4 years. 3 months, 4 months time there will be some developments and it will keep on going for 3-4 years. So that's a real problem, I would say, that it's a real problem, because it's not about if a person is guilty or not, it's about the CBI inquiry itself, which is a long drawn process, and it creates uncertainty on the stock price. So that's why I would say that it's going to be, I would not say that the story is going to die down so fast because of this reason only. But at the same time, see, as everyone has been saying, that the bank is good and the valuations are dirt cheap actually. So from that point of view, it makes sense. But at the same point in time, this is, if CBI clears the story in a very fast pace, then it will be really good for ICICI Bank. Otherwise, it's going to be problematic.